We at Conduit Media. I got BagFuel in the building. Shout out Esso, shout out Hynaken. I appreciate you guys for coming through, my brothers.
No doubt. Thank you for having us.
All day.
Yeah. Was good. Was good. Was good.
Good. How y'all guys feeling?
We always good, man. We love to film. It's our job. And
So
we
first things first, man. How you guys been enjoying the success of the show?
Like 50-50 because we still got a lot of agendas to check off. So we can enjoy it, but, sometimes when you enjoy, early success, you end up, like, getting ahead of yourself, and then now you back to square zero. You're not even back to one.
Right.
So, we're not getting, like, overly ecstatic. We still got a mission to accomplish.
I feel that, man. I love what you guys are doing because, like I mentioned off camera, you guys are pioneering a new wave and a new era, and I feel like y'all caught the wave at the right time. So,
pioneering what exactly?
So when I say pioneering the content pod game, you know what I'm saying? I worked in the music business, and when I see y'all working, it gives me the same vibe the music business feels. Like, leveraging your brand and creating content around it and keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? And you guys set the tone for it without y'all even knowing.
I can't say without knowing. That was his brainchild.
Oh, yeah?
He always said, I want it to be like the music business. It has to be opulent. It has to have a certain level of standard. The internet has allowed a lot of filth to come in and become popular. And he's like, let's really add some type of
value,
elegance to it, standards.
Yeah, podding was dirty.
There you go.
It was dirty. It's dirty people content. The only ones that wasn't making it dirty was Joe Buttons wasn't making it dirty. He was clean. He had cleaned it up. Then Nori and them had they Drink Champs deal, so it wasn't dirty over there. And Gilly and Wallow upgraded their thing, and it wasn't dirty over there. But everything else was always dirty content. Wild Wild West stuff, and I couldn't do that coming from the music business because the relationships were real. See, most content people, they didn't have relationships with the rappers or the singers or the record execs. They were just going there because they had a platform and they were meeting them, right? So they could wild out on them and not worry about whether they're coming back or not, right? Just by Clue being my best friend, it would be difficult because whenever things occur, the first person they call is him. So now my best friend is involved in what I'm doing on camera. So I didn't want my people to be affected by things that we were saying.
So when you say Clue, we want to clarify DJ Clue.
DJ Clue.
Okay.
Is there any other clue?
Just making sure. For the viewers who don't know, check me out. The viewers might not know. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I got different audiences.
Yeah,
you know what? That makes sense.
I'm not mad at that, but your DJ Clue is a hip hop legend. You know what I'm saying? He's still on Power 105 right now. He still got the #1 show for his time slot.
Yeah.
So
shout out DJ Clue.
Sometimes I think young people would naturally know him because he's still in a power position in New York City. So, but I do know that everybody got this streaming thing, acting like it's streaming's the best and radio's not. So it's like a boycott on radio. So why would the kids or the young people even care about who's moving and shaking on radio? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I got friends as DJs, so I completely understand. Mm-hmm. DJs are like the gatekeepers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you know, you know. So Esso, I've been doing some homework and I watched your story about Default. I first seen you on the My Expert Opinion show, and I always admired your takes, your business takes, because I admired your takes because you was a hood dude. You wasn't with a suit and tie, but you spoke about your business.
Yeah.
And the viewers needed to hear that. It was a different element. And Hynaken, I seen you on This Is 50. Correct me if I'm wrong. World Star, right?
Yeah,
World
Star as well. I had my first platform, True Stories Radio.
Okay.
And World Star took a liking to me, and they decided to catapult me when that whole wave started early on, before everything else.
Okay. Did you know Q?
Yes.
Okay.
He was watching our content, and then he had found out I was Haitian, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Haitian too." So he had sent me a direct email, and he was like, "I want you to interview Cubana Lust, who was one of the main females on the platform." Unbeknownst to me at the time, he was like, I wanted to see if what it looks like on camera is what it is in person.
Yeah.
And when the interview was done, he was like, it's just like watching it on the television. and things of that nature. So I knew him personally.
Exactly. So, okay, yeah, I know your backgrounds, and I feel like when you guys got together, it was very powerful for the black community, especially dudes from the hood, because, like I said, you know, the music business, it gets shady. So seeing the game, you said the podcast game is dirty. So seeing how two brothers could get together and make something work without ego, pride, and differences is a beautiful thing. So shout out to y'all, man.
Well, the podcast game, to me, what isn't or wasn't dirty, it was the mentality of the podcasters. Their mentality and their approach was what I call a struggling, dirty nigga mentality approach to everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I didn't like about pot. And that's what had me not even pay attention to it when people were actually doing it. It was all controversy, loud stuff, people getting into it. I'm not really into that. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we do is more, yeah, I'm loud and we talk and we're boisterous, but it's natural. It's not about beef. It's emotion. You know what I'm saying? And we're discussing business and topics. It's not nothing. It's not comedic. It's not surprising. You know what I'm saying? We're not going for clout and for his. We didn't know that the business was going to become sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not a thought of ours. When we were thinking about trying to go that route, we kind of strayed away from that because Hynaken came from the this is 50 mindset, whereas we have to do something that's going to, like, shock the people that's going to happen. When we got with Space Ghost, he didn't want that. Space Ghost wanted it straight business. And we struggled with it for a minute. I'm not even gonna lie, because we would be doing straight business and then Heim would do his thing and then Ghost would get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So finally me and him had to talk and say, yo, we really need him. Let's just try his way. You know what I'm saying? And ever since we mastered doing it his way, which is the sign of an artist. You know what I'm saying? This is what people don't understand. They think a rapper or artiste or somebody that acts is an artist because they can naturally do what you give them. But a true artist and a true master of their craft is when you throw things their way, they can still come out of it and still do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we specialize in. So if you want to talk about politics, we can talk about politics. If you want to talk about sports, we talk about sports, music, fashion, you know what I'm saying?
Relationships.
Your relationships. Yeah. There's not too many people, and people are actually now noticing that about us, that we can talk about many things. Like, we just came from doing the Danza Project, and he was like, yo, y'all the only two potters that can actually sit down and talk with Joe Rogan too. You know what I'm saying? And really have conversations.
We can talk about aliens, something to talk outer about. Space. It's so much of a limited time to capture the audience's attention to go into all of that. You know, we don't really touch on all of that, no pun intended. And the algorithm can really wreck you if you try to veer off from what the audience is accustomed to. You'd have to condition your audience to accept that.
And then they're weird too. So it's like they're the same type of weird of when we were telling them about the real business behind the business. We got a lot of hate. We got so much hate for that. Because people didn't want to believe that it really took what it took to become an artist or to be in the music business. They had to go home. And I would be like, and I'm being honest, I was first doing it, and people would get mad, and I would be laughing. I'd be like, Han, why are they mad? He was like, because you're destroying their dream. And I would be like, how am I destroying their dream? Oh, because they can't accomplish the things that you're telling them that they need to do, they feel like they can't do it. So they need to feel like, oh, Jay-Z really got on because he took a bag of money to somebody and it happened for him. Yeah. That's not real. I remember when he told me that story. He's like, yo, people really thought that. I'm like, that's music. That's not real. Like, that's not how this occurs in the music business. And exposing that, and yo, it got bad because the record labels was coming at me.
That's crazy.
They were coming at me like, yo, bro, you can't. Yo, bro, you've been with us. Yo, bro, whatever you need me to do, if you need rappers to come on your show, just stop telling people the truth. That's real. That's real. And then you don't get nothing from telling people the truth. You know why? Because then they rebel against you, and they get mad, and you a hater. You know what I'm saying?
Or a troll.
Or you a troll because people come to me, yo, what do I need to get in music business? Money. They be like, oh, come on, bro. Money. Because you don't have any money, that upsets you.
Yeah, they get triggered.
Yeah, and then so when people are like, you sure? And I always say, who's the first person to believe in Moneybag Yo? Do you know?
Zach Randolph?
Yeah, there you go.
How much is he worth?
A lot.
There you go.
More than 20 M's. So
He's
Look
an
at
NBA player.
Stallion and Carl Crawford.
Carl Crawford.
Yeah,
Where does Carl Crawford come from?
Baseball. Yo, and look, and let's really track it. Nobody was breaking when Meg Thee Stallion came through.
What was that, 2018, 19?
Nobody
2017.
Yo, it might have been. Yeah, nobody was
there for that.
Nobody had money. Remember, streaming was taking over. Like we was in a flux of what's going on. And Megan Thee Stallion, and I remember saying to him, "How's this girl like? Why? Yo, I'm telling you because I didn't know about content. Once an artist gets to a certain level, they're on my radar.
Right.
But before that, they're not on my radar. I really don't care. You could bring them to me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, but he knew about her because she did his South by Southwest shows. He knew everything about everything that was going on with her. So I went to him. I was like, "Why is Megan Thee Stallion blowing up?" He's like, "Yo, she got Carl Crawford." I was like, "The baseball player?" He's like, "I said, oh, he got a bag."
There's a lot of like athletes that try to start labeling. It did not work out.
But it's not about. See, the athletes that try to start a label, they're marked as a buster, right? Because you got money. It's the athlete that knows how to be like, I just want to be behind the scenes.
They never get the credit.
Zach Randolph wasn't broadcasting
You're right.
from
Yeah,
what
no.
I saw.
No,
from
he
what I saw
wasn't.
from Naked Eye. He wasn't broadcasting Moneybag Yo, right? That's how you can get things done. Lesson to everybody. Just because you got somebody with the money, don't tell everybody you got the money.
They're gonna run it up.
They're gonna run it up. That's why that's why these record labels had people fooled for a long time. They were signing people and telling people don't say you're signed. Because as soon as you say you're signed, they're gonna want a different type of money from you. If you just look like you coming through and somebody got a little bag for $500, if you come to me and you got a bag, like when we did this show, I said, yo, well, you came to support us and I rock with you and we meet each other face to face, make me an offer. But if you gonna send me the DM and you gonna ask me my price and you don't support me, I never got to meet you. I didn't know that I affected anything that you had going on. Didn't know it's $3,500. It's simple mathematics.
Who was the one that told the story about how they got a feature from Snoop and they just put the Pro Tools in the lift? Future, yes.
Yeah, hotel room.
He put it in the hotel room. He's like, I got 7 racks. So I'll give it to you right now.
Relationships is key.
He caught him in person.
Yeah,
vibes.
but see, these people out here will look and be like, oh, I still gotta pay you. That's not a relationship. Yes, it is, dog. I just gave you fucking $2,500 off.
See, my take is different because I'm a seasoned exec in the game, but for the younger generation, I worked with drill artists, all types of joints. So I respect your time, and I know the value of respecting people's time and put, adding value to it.
What's the first thing you said? Oh, you guys are here on time, and I'm like, between the three of us, the Space Ghost ain't here. That's the only thing we've ever agreed on, even before we knew each other.
We always early.
Yeah.
If I gotta come sit in the car and smoke bud, Ghost is always there. If we starting at 3, Ghost beats us there. He's there at 2. I'm usually pulling up at 2:20. He's pulling up at 2:15.
Yeah.
That's
you
just
didn't even
how
have
we
to
go.
tell us to be on. We would have been on time the same way.
I appreciate that. That goes a long way.
I said this to a podcaster. The brokest niggas I see is the niggas that's always late. The richest niggas, Hov, Diddy, 50, they're all on time.
Yeah,
Clue's on time.
Yeah. Clue late for everything else, but when it comes to that he's there on time.
The richest niggas is on time.
It's weird when people think that they can get paid and be late. That's weird to me. And then this is the weirdest part. They show up late and still want the same amount of money. That's the weirdest part to me. I'd be like, yo, bro, like you supposed to be here at so-and-so amount of time. I needed you here for this amount of time, and you not even trying to, but I'm here though. Bro, you're here late.
Yeah.
And the entertainment business is the only business that they think they can show up late and still get the same amount of money. You know why? Because the impact will still be there.
Yeah.
Once they hit that stage or once the fans see them, even if they mad late, if the fans see Cardi B walk through that door, that's all that she came. She was in the building. That's all that matters. These fans, it's something wrong with them.
Now, I did some homework as I see you worked with a lot of artists, Destiny's Child, Maya.
Yeah.
A songwriting group, I want to remember.
Big Draws.
Big Draws. Rampage. No.
I ain't working with Rampage. I did the songs that put Trey songs on. Okay. I discovered Cassie. Yes.
Now, I gotta ask you. Too. No pun intended.
I managed Rockwilder for 10 years.
How do you feel about what Cassie's going through now with Diddy and all this stuff?
What is Cassie going through? She got $30 million. She went through it already.
Just in hindsight, the whole grand scheme of things.
I don't look at things different. Yeah. I mean, I don't look at things the same as everybody else. Like, I got love for Cassandra, but when I had Cassandra at 16 and a half, I sent her home because she was too young. We was popping E, we was partying hard. I already had Yummy here. She was young and we was all wild, and she was 19. I'm 25. I wasn't bringing Cassandra at 16. Rock is 30. I'm trying to run around with Maya. Maya's 30. You know what I'm saying? Like it was no room for that. Maya was actually, and I never talked about her before, but I started saying this. She was the biggest mistake that I've ever made in life, in this music business.
Was this around the time she was working with Hov?
Nah, it was after Hov. Okay. She was never working with Hov.
Well, The Best of Me.
When she did a song with Hov?
Yeah.
Nah, it was after that.
Okay.
It was after that. She wasn't working with Hov though, but she was in limbo. It was right after. She never put another album out since that time, like a mainstream album. She put out independent joints and stuff like that. Okay. But the reason why she said that she wanted to deal with me and work with me is because I'm trying to think of the correct words, but the gist of it was I was gonna be able to help her basically accomplish what she wanted to accomplish with putting her music out. I was a different type of manager back then. Did I like her? Did she like me? Yeah, but she gave me an ultimatum like, yo, either we're gonna deal with each other or we're gonna work together. That she was always like, people got this whole, and I'm gonna be honest with you, people had me, it was so many rumors floating around about Maya, and I was so young, I think that was the biggest problem. You know what I'm saying? On top of my fucking attitude, and I was young, and I was different. You know what I'm saying? I was wild. You know what I'm saying? But the rumors and all that other type of stuff that you find out later that wasn't even true, I think that affected my mental with dealing with her. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't deal with it correctly at the time. It was a big mistake of mine because she gave me opportunity. She put her career dead in my hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would still be getting money right now. Look.
Yeah.
She said she ain't smashed nobody in 8 years. Every time I say that, I'll be like, man, you messed that up.
So also, I peeped that you worked with Murder Inc. back in the day. So what's it like working for Murder Inc. when you from Southside? Long story short,
nobody really asked me that question.
Come on,
That's
man.
funny.
It's different over here, baby.
And I just saw Ja Rule too.
Shout out to Ja Rule. I tell people all the time, Ja Rule's a legend. I don't care what nobody says. I stand on that.
Yo, I love 50. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens. 50 and Ja Rule are legends.
Let's talk about it, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it.
The reason why 50 can talk about Ja Rule and all that and it be effective and it work because Ja Rule is popular. He is a legend. 50 is a legend. 50, you can't take nothing from 50 Cent either. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're both two totally different people in a totally different stratosphere. If they didn't have beef, we wouldn't even be comparing them at all. Because there is no comparison of what they do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like,
I think a better question, because how did that fracture Queens? Did it set back Queens now?
I'm gonna be honest.
Because imagine if they were together.
I don't think it's that. If they were together, 50 Cent wouldn't be 50 Cent right now.
No, I'm just saying. You know,
if 50 Cent were 50, the world is crazy. You don't wish nobody to go through what 50 Cent went through.
No, of course not.
Ever. But that's his recovery and his story and his determination from that point is what made him him. How he transcended into act. exact.
Yeah.
Like, and then to be a record, to be an exec,
Yeah.
and then to put on the rappers, like, nigga, some people still, Lloyd Banks is still one of the wildest niggas. There has been nobody from Cashville. Tony Yayo is still renowned. People love Yayo. Yeah. The whole G Unit, they don't even put out records, and G Unit is still in people's mouths.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
After 20 years.
Yeah.
That's
but being at Murder Inc. and being from Southside, it wasn't what people think, because all the artists and stuff, Tom Murder was from Southside. Okay. I was from Southside. Preem is from Southside. Preem is from South. He's considered from Southside.
Correct.
BJ that was there that held Irv Gotti down and did A&R work. BJ's from Southside. You know what I'm saying? So it was a mixture of North Side and South Side.
It was
people.
Queens. It was Queens.
Now
period.
the only difference with me and everybody else is I grew up with 50 Cent.
Okay.
That was the difference. I'm from Rochdale, 130. He's from 134 Back Blocks.
All Stars.
He's from 134 Back Blocks. And if anybody knows anything about Rochdale and 134 Back Blocks, we are one. That is, it's weird because we already one. They consider from Rochdale, 134 Back Blocks is Rochdale Village still.
Trust
too.
me, they had the whole Queens Jack and Lost Boys.
Yes,
I remember.
Yes,
if you know, you know.
That's what I'm saying. If people know,
you know.
But we don't even like. If you're not from Queens, you don't even know the dynamic. And Queens is always fractured. Like, I think that's why the music is so different. Like, you get LL from up there, then you got Run DMC, then you got 50 bought the gutter in, and then you got Nori
Onyx,
over there.
Nas.
You got Onyx, you got Nas. These are people from
Mega,
all different parts of Queens. So the one thing about Queens is the respect level be there. They might not get along, but the respect level's there. We all poke our chests out the same way when it comes to Queens. Yeah, that's the one thing that's whether 50 like Irv Gotti or not. When you spoke of Queens, they both was like Queens and Queens.
Queens get the money.
Everybody's chest is poking out. Smack, shout to Smack.
Big Queens.
When you mention Queens, it's big Queens. Queens get the money. Shout to Consequence. Anybody from Queens, when they see me, yo, Rand, Queens get the money, you representing the borough. The borough is the most important thing to me. Yeah. Like, there is no other thing. I'm wearing the Money Mel hat. I'm a Queens nigga.
Nah, I dig
it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from LA, but my heart is a Queens. My whole family is a Queens, so I get it.
Yeah, word.
I get it. Now, listen, I told y'all this off camera. I'm going to tell y'all again, man. Like, I love y'all takes on my expert opinion. And me as a consumer, as a fan, I was mad when y'all left.
We didn't leave.
We didn't leave, so why people gotta watch that language?
Just period, though. I was mad when y'all wasn't on the show. I'm gonna be real.
But the language is important.
How many relationships you been in?
A lot.
No, girlfriends. How many girlfriends?
Probably like 3.
And what if the bitch
she
stopped talking to you? No. Let me say this, huh? Yeah. Say the bitch ghosted you, and I say, well, when you left the bitch, you gonna be like, I ain't leave that bitch.
Okay.
It's a big difference than when if you left the bitch and you telling the world that, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't leave her. She actually left you.
Imagine every girlfriend you had, you said, I broke up with her. She gonna drag your name through the mud because she gonna be like, that's not what.
There's always two sides of a story.
No, it's only one side. The truth.
The truth been out. Yeah. So when people still talk about it, like, I'm just wondering. I talk to him about this.
Yeah.
all the time while smoking. I'm like, why are people still talking about
it's iconic, nigga.
On my expert opinion?
He don't understand.
I'm gonna tell you, as a consumer, as somebody outside looking in, I'm gonna break it down simple. Not to get too like y'all had that Tony Yayo interview, and you gotta understand this is the rebirth of Yayo, right? I'm a younger dude. I'm younger than y'all, so you know, G Unit was everything, right? I used to drive through Godborough, Southside. I could feel the energy, right? So seeing Yayo come back and rebrand himself through Vlad and come to a platform from the hood and really put on and tell the story, like I remember every quote. Nigga, I'm with 50 Cent, nigga. Like that shit hit different. Y'all was there. Y'all was there. You was a part of that. That's what really set the tone for the show as a consumer.
Okay. Yeah. That was our last interview.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's you know what that's the equivalent
best
of?
Interview, your last interview was crazy.
You know what that's the equivalent of? How all these older niggas still can't get over that Jordan is gone. They still think of Game 6 when he hit over Brian Russell. Yeah. That's what that Tony Yayo is in equivalent.
But this is what people.
That's why they can't get over it.
But this is what people got to understand. This is the knowledge though. I was only up there for 9 months, bro.
That's crazy.
So everybody keeps talking. See, this is when it gets quiet. When people be talking all this other stuff, that's just how impactful it was. Mm-hmm. So when you talk about a 9-month stint, 2.5, 2.75 years later, and everybody knows what happened. See, it's like, who's watching what? Because every show that we go on, they be like, oh, when y'all left. Bro, slow down. We didn't leave. Why do people keep saying that when they're all watching the content, and every time they say the content, and nobody denies that this didn't happen. It's not like niggas. It's not like niggas is saying, no, they left. No, everybody knows. Yo, no, niggas just stopped calling us.
Yeah. The evidence is out. I got rid of them.
Stop calling us, right? So the questions, like I always tell people, is they should go to him. But when they have him, it's capping involved, and people don't want to ask the direct questions. People really be intimidated to ask the direct questions. Like, did you stop calling them? What did they do exactly? People will ask him questions and be like, oh, well, what's your big deal? Oh, they started BagFuel after my show. And they'll know that that's a lie. They'll have it on their phone and be like, oh, well, they was on BagFuel in 2018.
Yeah.
They'll know it's the truth. They'll know, but they won't say nothing for the sake of content. So most of the times, that's why when we go on joints, I'll be like, I'm not talking about it. Yeah. Because if y'all get the person that's there, y'all don't even care about the facts. Y'all just want the numbers.
Yeah, I get it. Nah, I feel that. And like I said, I seen the episode Lip Service, and like, the vibe looked good. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was actually happy as a consumer. I'm like, yo, check.
What are these people watching? You thought the vibe was good?
You just,
bro,
it was better than I thought.
Bro, what about whose vibe was good? You can't be talking about me. If you was watching me, you can't say that my vibe was good.
I thought it'd have been a lot more tension, just based on like the.
What more tension did you want us to have? Throw chairs and fight? I mean, what more tension?
I thought y'all didn't want to be in the same environment.
We didn't, but you got to be a professional, my nigga.
I respect it.
You said that you in the music business and you was the record exec. Yeah. When things go wrong, if that rapper or singer can't get up, if they do, they're unprofessional. So now, if I leave the camera, right, then what? Oh, he was scared.
Everything he said was true.
Everything that the nigga said was true.
Niggas is really thieves.
So I'm put in a position, right, to now be a professional, and then and everybody, nigga, I went viral for the vibe being trash.
Right.
So when I sit in front of you and be like, well, I thought the vibe was okay. How? How, nigga? I went viral for the vibe being trash. Quarter Lab signed a whole deal with us because of what happened on that show, because he admitted to blocking us, bro. How can somebody block your money and the vibe be good?
Got you. You got it. You got it, my brother. You got it. Now, I was going to ask another question. I'm just
ask them shit.
Go ahead.
What I was really going to ask is, I feel like, as a consumer, I want to see math on BagFuel and
never
y'all
happen.
On my expert opinion.
Never happen.
That'll be powerful for the culture.
No. I don't give a fuck about the culture. I give a fuck about me. All right, the culture don't give a damn about me, and I'm not running nobody's numbers up that tried to end my whole career, bro. This is the thing that confuses me about people or the culture. If a nigga fuck your girl, if it's good for the culture, you be on camera. Are you cool with it?
I'm good. So I didn't know it was that deep.
So I'm saying, all right, I'm gonna ask you another question. If you were set to move your parents up here off the deal and buy a house, and then you can't move your parents up here because the nigga stopped calling you, you think you gonna give a fuck about the culture?
I understand.
All right then. So I'm not worried about the culture. The culture, if the culture want to see Math Hoffa and us, tell the culture to give me $25,000, give Math what he want to have, put Hynaken what he want to have, put us on camera, and they could get it. He could be over there, put the camera over there. You could ask us the questions. Mm-hmm. I got to get something from it. It ain't going to just be for the culture. It's going to be for me too.
Yeah.
Respect.
So sponsors, you heard the number. If you want to see it, the ROI will come back. What's up? You know some sponsors? Yeah, bring them up. He's going to be tight. He's like, when am I going to get out of that?
Shout out to Math Hoffa, man. But now, how do you feel when you see like everybody leaving the show and moving on? When y'all did it before, it was like
how did we do it before? We got kicked.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Okay, let me reiterate that. How did you feel when those members of the show weren't on the show no more.
There's nothing to feel about. It's life. It's the industry. It's business. Things.
I don't understand the question.
He's trying because other dudes that's no longer on the show.
Ironically, it's just like
they didn't give a fuck when we wasn't on the show. What do you want me to do? When we stopped getting calls, did they protest?
Was it like I told you, or like you was like, like you know what I'm saying? That's what I meant.
If we on some I told you shit, I'm gonna tell you real shit. We wouldn't be right here sitting with y'all.
Respect.
Because we would be so focused on the wrong thing. Yeah, nigga failed. If you sitting here waiting for a nigga to fail, that means you're not focused on yourself trying to win.
Yeah, I got tunnel vision, bro.
Yeah,
I don't watch content.
And I'm gonna keep it real on this camera. It don't benefit us for him to sit there and say he lost his shop, because all white people are gonna say is these are the top content creators. Boom. This is what their price point is.
This is what their ceiling is.
Yes.
They can't get along. Another one bites the dust. Black
you
people
think that makes us happy?
It.
I'm sitting here like, oh shit, the price point just went down for all of us.
If his show is rocking in New York, right? And our show is rocking in New York, makes New York a big pit stop.
All of us. All black dudes win.
It's a big deal. People not understanding that. So when they say that they can come to New York, when they would say, oh, I'm going to do his podcast and I'm going to do BagFuel, we looked at that as a good thing. I'm not a competitor when it comes like that. I want to be number one. I'm not competing. I'm just putting my own work in my own my own tunnel vision in my own way. That's it. I don't look at people's numbers. I don't care what they do. When I see something dope, like I saw Gilly and Wallow, I saw Gilly give Wallow that car. I said, this is the shit we gonna be doing. Mm-hmm. That impresses me. You know what I'm saying? Togetherness. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And people riding with each other. That's what I rock with. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of business structure that's gonna help us win. Everything that we did together was yin and yang. It was arguing. It was back and forth. It was, this works for me in content. This works for me in the music business. And let's figure out how we can mix and merge our stuff together and figure it out. His thing was content. My thing was money. Yo, if we don't make money, we can't keep making content. Fuck all that. I'm not going to keep making content if it's not making money. I'm going to go do what's making me some money, period.
Respect, man. Respect, man. That's a great way to look at it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're not celebrating dudes' losses.
And it's not a celebration. I just want to understand the perspective,
too?
You know what I'm saying?
Because when we got kicked off this show, everybody turned their back on us.
They turned their back on us.
They really are thieves. They really stole the money. And I always say this on every show I can. Salute to Cormega, because he stood with us. And that fucked up a lot of people's heads, because they're like, if a stand-up street dude is standing with them, we're missing the point. And he's like, I know the real story. And that started the wave for people saying, all right, we could stand next to them.
Yeah.
So I know what it is to.
That's a fact, though. I ain't gonna lie. Because we was saying, yo, Mega came to us like, yo, I'm gonna do y'all shit.
Yeah.
And we was having trouble. I didn't even know what it was gonna be. We was just glad to have guests. Mm-hmm. And Mega was like, yo, I'm gonna do your shit first. And I was like, all right, I didn't know what that meant. And how I was like, yo, that's a big deal if he gonna do our shit first. Because I told you, I didn't know what this meant. You know what I'm saying? I just was like, yo, let's just be good at what we do. My thing was like, just trying to get better at my craft. I did my stuttering shit inside the mirror before every show to prevent me from stuttering on camera. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do push-ups before we got on camera. Yep. We took our picture. We were the first niggas to start taking pictures at the show. Niggas would get mad at me because I'm like, I told niggas, I'm the DJ Clue of this shit. And they'd be laughing. I'd be like, I'm dropping my content early. And everybody would be mad. They'd be like, yo, that show's not coming out for 3 weeks. I don't give a fuck. Give me the clip. I'm dropping it, nigga. Yeah. I want everybody to know I took pictures with these niggas, and these niggas came through, and the episode is coming. And everybody was against it. But it started working. And people started being like, yo, when's the so-and-so coming? When's the so-and-so coming? At first, they didn't like it. Yo, that's too much, Rand, because they going to be waiting for it. But the niggas, we got so hot, they was waiting. It started being like, damn, they next 3 shows is going to be the niggas that he took the pictures with. And then I took it a little stretch further and started getting videos. The first one I did was Ralph McDaniels. I said, Ralph, niggas ain't got you on they fucking phone like this, right, Ralph? And Ralph was popping like, nah. Bang, post in the morning. That worked. Then I got Tretch to do it and multiple people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. So with all the success, all the trials and tribulations, I feel like you guys are a testimony, and I'm happy to have you here to tell the story because, like I said, a lot of people in the music business, whether you're doing content, it's, we don't got 401ks. It's hard to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You guys jumped over there. Y'all stepped on that. So salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I got one more question. Not one more, but
just go ahead
how long we got?
Go no more. Just go ahead until you can't go no more. Pause.
What is next for BagFuel? Because I know y'all got vision. I hear the way you talk. You're an innovator. Hynaken, I know you've been around. What's next?
I think me and you talked about what I wanted to do next. I don't know if that was you, but I wanted to get into voiceovers. Like that's my goal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want a Hollywood star. I'm not playing with this like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Pivoting is very important. That's why right now, like the old rappers, they're all mad at me because I'm like, yo, why are all y'all still rapping? There might be a chosen few of y'all that can still, Nas is still rapping. Nas has $100 million. He can do whatever he wants to do. You're not Nas. You know what I'm saying? Like
Speaking of Nas, I gotta ask.
What's that?
What do you think about Jim?
What?
Saying that.
Let me say this.
He's more relevant than Nas.
D1 sent me a DM. I got to answer him back. He's very upset with me because he knows Jim Jones is my friend, and they came at him about shouting people's name with clout, and he used Nas's name. And I'm gonna say this: he was asked a question. Yeah. People are forgetting that they asked him a question and he answered a question. All right, so if he answers the question and he feels that way, that's how he feels. You don't have to agree with him.
And you got to remember, they asked that question to Jim because of how far back the interaction goes with Jim and Nas.
And it bubbled up from the net. See,
Yeah.
people don't understand.
All of that.
This was a big thing on the net that a young kid, because young kids rock with Jim Jones, okay?
Yes.
He's one of the few people.
I grew up on Jim,
okay,
trust me.
But you grew up on him, but still the 16-year-old kid, he's one of the few people with the gray hair and the beard that has the lingo, and the young kid still wants to rock with Jim Jones, okay?
That's rare.
All right, that's very rare. He's one of those people that I'm like, yo, well, Jim Jones can put it out. Jim Jones has appeal to young people. You follow what I'm saying? You can't clump. You can't say because Nas and Jim Jones and Jadakiss can still put out raps, every old nigga should be rapping. No. Y'all gotta chill.
They was giving Jim hell with Styles P, all that. Like,
it doesn't.
Styles
listen,
P versus him on the verses.
Everything, but him using this shit and understanding marketing and promo got everybody mad. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like if he feels like that this is what he feels and people are coming at him to find out, I'm not gonna sit up here. Yo, Joe Budden's got more money than me. He been doing this shit longer than me. But if you ask me who's better, me, nigga.
Talk that talk.
Me. The fuck? Like, who the fuck gonna say no, he's better? Like what is everybody's problem with this new age of shit that you gotta bow down to somebody who everybody else think that you're supposed to bow down?
Facts.
I don't agree with that.
Facts. Great way to put it. So listen, man, it's a pleasure to have you guys here. Esso Hynaken, BagFuel. In the future, y'all gonna bump into me because I'm gonna make waves and, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna collab again, you dig? Next time I'm gonna come on y'all show, you heard?
But you gotta put your face on camera like
soon.
Talk
that talk. Hold me accountable. Let's do it.
I'm just saying that you gotta have multiple cameras. You can't do the wide screen and the wide lens shot. You gotta have the multiple cameras and the big head post pause for the gram and all that. They telling you right, you heard?
You got it. Y'all got it.
If the young lady that owns the spot conditions the spot is telling you to do it, and she has no skin in the game, she's not your girl, nothing. Nah. That's crazy.
Y'all got it, man. Listen, I had to hear from the OGs and from other people who don't know me, who just met me, and saying that means a lot. So I'm taking the game. That's what y'all doing for this generation. Y'all setting the tone. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta give some,
y'all running so we can walk, you heard?
You gotta give some game on your way out. And I just want to say this last thing. I got an online school. Go to the school app, SKOOL. Go to ESSO. Your university. It's only $47 a month. I teach on Thursdays from 7 to 8 p.m. It'll change your life for only $47. Everybody comes through. I have special guests speaking. Hein is in the class with me talking to people. If you want a consultation, DM us and go to bagfuel.com, cop his sweatshirts, and cop my cookbook.
Anything else, Han? You good?
I'm good, bro.
All right. BagFuel in the building. Y'all signed out Conduit Media. It's a pleasure, my brothers.